In the sun-drenched meadows of the ancient world, a maiden wandered, her laughter echoing like the chime of silver bells. Her name was Persephone, cherished daughter of Demeter, the great goddess of the harvest. She was the very essence of spring. Wherever her gentle feet touched the earth, flowers of every hue would burst forth, unfurling their petals to greet her. The air around her hummed with the buzz of happy bees, and the land flourished, lush and green, under her joyful gaze. One day, while weaving a crown of narcissus and hyacinths, she smiled, her heart full. "Oh, how the earth sings today," she whispered to a butterfly that had landed on her finger. "Mother will be so pleased with this vibrant bloom. It's a perfect gift for her." The world was a symphony of life, and Persephone was its beloved conductor. But from the deep hidden places beneath the earth, another watched her. It was Hades, ruler of the underworld, lord of all that is beneath the soil. His realm was a vast, silent kingdom of shadows and forgotten spirits, and his heart, once as cold and unyielding as the subterranean stone, now burned with a fire he had never known. Day after day, he observed Persephone's radiant beauty, her light a stark, dazzling contrast to his own somber world. He longed for her, not just for her beauty, but for the life she embodied. "She must be my queen," he declared to the silent darkness of his throne room, his voice a low rumble that echoed through the cavernous halls. "I will bring her to my realm, where her radiance will be unmatched, a star in my endless night. She will rule beside me, and the underworld itself will bow to her light." That fateful day arrived without warning. Persephone was in her favorite meadow, chasing a particularly beautiful dark purple flower that seemed to have sprung from nowhere. As she reached down to pluck it, a tremor ran through the ground beneath her. The air grew still, the birdsong ceased. Suddenly, the earth split open with a deafening roar, a gaping chasm tearing through the peaceful field. From this abyss, a great black chariot emerged, pulled by 4 powerful coal-black stallions with eyes like embers. At the reins stood Hades, his presence commanding and immense. Persephone screamed, dropping her flowers. "What is this horror? Help me! Mother, where are you?" But her cries were lost in the thunderous sound. Hades reached for her, his voice a powerful command that allowed no refusal. "Persephone, you are mine. Fear not. You will not be a captive, but a queen. You will reign beside me as the sovereign of the underworld." He swiftly seized her, pulling her into the chariot. Before her friends, the nymphs, could even react, the dark steeds plunged back into the chasm, and the earth sealed itself above them, leaving the meadow silent and desolate, the scattered flowers already beginning to wilt, as if mourning her sudden, shocking absence. When Demeter returned to the meadow to find her daughter gone, a chilling fear gripped her. She called her name, her voice rising with panic. "Persephone, my child, where are you?" She searched everywhere, her frantic calls echoing through empty fields and silent forests. No one, not the nymphs nor the satyrs, could tell her what had happened. Grief, a cold and heavy stone, settled in her heart. She forsook her divine duties on Mount Olympus and began to wander the earth, a desperate mother searching for her lost child. "Who has taken you from me? Who dared to steal the light from my life?" she cried to the unanswering sky. As days bled into weeks, and weeks into months, Demeter's sorrow seeped into the very soil. The vibrant green of the world began to fade. The crops failed to grow, the trees shed their leaves, and the fields turned brown and barren. A biting cold descended upon the land, and for the first time in its history, mankind experienced the harsh, unforgiving grip of winter. The world starved and shivered, sharing in the goddess's profound despair. From his golden throne on Mount Olympus, Zeus, the king of the gods, looked down and saw the devastation. Mankind was perishing, and the earth itself was dying under his sister Demeter's grief. The pleas of mortals reached his ears, and he knew he had to act. He summoned his brother Hades from the depths of the underworld to answer for the chaos his actions had wrought. With a clap of thunder, Zeus's voice boomed across the heavens. "Brother," he said, his tone stern and commanding, "your selfish desire has cast a shadow of famine and death upon the world. This cannot continue. Persephone must be returned to her mother. and balance must be restored. Hades stood before him, defiant, yet outwardly calm. He had grown to love his queen, but he knew he could not defy the will of Zeus entirely. A cunning thought entered his mind. She is my wife and queen now, brother. But if it is her wish to leave, I will not hold her. She may return, on one simple condition. Before Persephone was led from the shadowy halls of the underworld, Hades approached her, his expression unreadable. He held out a single glistening pomegranate, its skin as dark as a winter night. "You must be hungry from your time here, my queen," he said, his voice soft. "Take this small token from my kingdom's gardens." Weary from her grief and weak with hunger, Persephone saw no harm in the gesture. She took the fruit and ate, not the whole thing, but 6 small, jewel-like seeds. She did not know the ancient law, that anyone who tastes the food of the underworld is forever bound to it. As the last seed passed her lips, a slow, satisfied smile spread across Hades' face. He had won. "Now," he declared, his voice resonating with finality, "she cannot remain forever in the world above with her mother. The fates have decreed it. For every seed she has eaten, she must spend 1 month of the year here, with me. For 6 months, she belongs to the underworld." And so, the bargain was struck. Zeus had to agree. Persephone would live half the year with Demeter, and the other half as the queen of the underworld with Hades. And so, the great cycle of the seasons began. When Hermes, the messenger god, guided Persephone up from the dark depths and back into the light of the world, Demeter's joy was boundless. As she embraced her daughter, her happiness radiated across the land. The snow melted, the frozen ground thawed, and flowers burst forth in a riot of color. The fields grew heavy with grain, the trees bore sweet fruit, and the warm, life-giving seasons of spring and summer returned to the earth. Mankind rejoiced, for the goddess of the harvest was happy once more. But this joy was fleeting. When 6 months had passed, Persephone had to honor her bargain. As she descended once more into the realm of shadows to take her place on the throne beside Hades, Demeter would weep again. Her sorrow would once again chill the air, and the earth would grow cold and quiet. The leaves would turn gold and red before falling, and the land would sleep under a blanket of snow. The seasons of autumn and winter had fallen upon the world, mirroring a mother's annual grief. "My child returns," Demeter would whisper each spring, and with her, life returns to the earth. Through this divine pact, eternal balance was created. The world now moved to the rhythm of Persephone's journey between 2 realms. She was no longer just the innocent maiden of spring, but also the formidable and respected queen of the dead. She embodied the delicate, necessary balance between life and death, between growth and decay, light and shadow. She learned to navigate both her worlds, bringing the warmth of life to the somber underworld and returning to the surface with the wisdom of the depths. She was the bridge between 2 opposites, the living link that ensured the continuity of the world's cycles. As she sat on her ebony throne, she would sometimes think of the sunlit meadows, and when she walked among the flowers, she would remember the silent majesty of her kingdom below. "I belong to both worlds," she came to understand, her voice now filled with a calm, profound wisdom. One of vibrant light and endless bloom, the other of quiet shadows and peaceful silence. Both are a part of me, and I am a part of both. And this is the story the ancient Greeks told to explain the miraculous turning of the seasons. It's a tale born from the sorrow of a mother, the complicated love of a daughter, and the immense power of the gods. Together, their passions and bargains shape the fundamental rhythm of our world, a cycle forever bound to the abduction and return of Persephone. It reminds us that even in the coldest winter, spring is a promise waiting to be fulfilled, and that light is often born from the heart of darkness. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into myth. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you do not miss our next adventure into the fascinating world of folklore. See you next time.